Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets hidden within boring corporate filings. And this time we've got a doozy from OmniAb. This company is really betting big on its immune system technology, and this report is all about how they're raising some serious cash to fuel that future. So what's going on here? Well, OmniAb, a company focused on using the human immune system to discover new medicines, has just announced a private placement of its stock. Think of it as a big exclusive sale of company shares to a select group of investors before anyone else gets a chance. They're selling over 21 million shares of their common stock. Now here's an interesting little detail. If you're an insider, like an executive or employee, you're paying a bit more per share, $1.85, compared to the outside investors who are paying $1.40. This is pretty common. Sometimes companies offer slightly better terms to their own people. All in all, this little private sale is expected to bring in about $30 million. That's a good chunk of change that OmniAb can use to keep its research and development engine running. And what will they do with all this cash? Well, they say it's for working capital and general corporate purposes. This is your standard corporate speak for we need money to run the business and do whatever else comes up. It could mean funding more research, hiring more scientists, or just keeping the lights on and the innovation flowing. To make this deal happen, they brought in Leerink partners to help them find these investors and manage the sale. They're essentially the matchmakers for big money deals. Now here's a crucial part for those investors who just bought shares. OmniAb has promised to file paperwork with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, within 45 days of the deal closing. This filing is essentially to register those shares so the investors can freely sell them later on. They have to work hard to get this approved quickly. Think of it as getting the official permission slip for these shares to be traded on the open market. And there's also a quiet period for about 60 days. OmniAb and its top brass can't sell any more of their company stock. This is to prevent flooding the market and creating instability right after this private placement. It's a way to give the newly placed shares some breathing room. This entire private sale is being done under specific exemptions in the law. They're not doing a big public launch of these shares. Instead, they're using rules designed for private deals where investors are assumed to be more sophisticated and can handle the associated risks without the full public registration process. The investors themselves are saying they are accredited investors, which means they meet certain income or net worth requirements. They're also stating that they are buying these shares to hold them as an investment, not to immediately resell them. This is important because private placements are meant for investors who can afford to tie up their money and understand the risks involved. This news first broke in a press release the day after the agreement was signed. It's pretty typical for companies to announce these kinds of financial moves through official press releases shortly after they happen. So what does all this mean for OmniAb? It means they've secured important funding to continue their work in discovering new medicines using the power of the human immune system. This private placement shows investor confidence in their approach. However, like any company in the cutting-edge biotech space, they face ongoing challenges in bringing these discoveries from the lab to the market. The success of this financing will largely depend on how effectively they can use this capital to advance their drug pipeline and demonstrate tangible progress. It's a vote of confidence, but the real test will be in the results they deliver in the coming years. Now, what's my take on this? Well, OmniAb is playing in a high-stakes arena. Biotech funding can be like a roller coaster, with big ups and downs. This $30 million injection is a solid step, but the biotech world needs constant fuel. The fact that they are selling stock at different prices for insiders versus outsiders is a common practice, but it's worth noting. And the key risk here, as always with biotech, is execution. Do they have the right science, the right team, and the right strategy to turn these immune system insights into actual marketable drugs? The promise is huge, but the path is long and fraught with scientific and regulatory hurdles. They're offering a bit of a safety net for the investors by promising to file that registration statement quickly. This shows they're trying to make it easier for their new investors to eventually exit their position. Overall, this private placement looks like a smart move to get capital in the door without the complexities of a full public offering just yet. It signals a belief in their current trajectory, but the true measure of this funding will be seen in OmniAb's future breakthroughs. Alright, that's our breakdown of OmniAb's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.